That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild. Strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paver patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
Again, we will be back down there this Sunday starting at 10 a.m. for the Bengals-Bears matchup. Now, if you guys want to come on down and enjoy, in my opinion, the best tailgate on the banks, and you want to save some money, do me a favor. First of all, go to Moorline Lager House Facebook page or website. Click on the pregame experience. Click on that, and then put in pregame 10. Pregame 10. That gets you $10 off your tickets. Also, once you do that, it automatically registers you to win for a chance to win this autographed T. Higgins helmet, which we will be giving away November 23rd. So, go to the Moorline Lager House website. Get you some tickets. Come on down. We got beer pong. We got cornhole, we got DJ, we got football toss, we got Best Day Brewery giving out free samples of their non-alcoholic beer, which is delicious. So come on down and root the Bengals on, because what more Bengal thing would it be to go ahead and lose to the Jets and turn around and beat the Bears? So crazier things have happened. What is up to everybody in the chat? We've got Brandon there, Ron there, Tony Blazin, and that's it. That's all we got in there. So we're talking Bearcats today, so we might not get as many people watching, as many comments as we normally do. But I want to talk some Bearcats, and it's my show. So hopefully spread the word out to everybody. We're talking Bearcats today and get some more people on the show. But the 17th ranked Bearcats are heading to Utah to play at 10:15 Saturday night. Now, the really cool part about this is game day will be there. Now, this is the highest ranked Bearcats have been since joining the Big 12. Now, this could be a tough task for the Bearcats because, like I said, the game until 10:15. I think it's 5 o'clock. Something like that. Their time out in Utah. Utah is not going to be a pushover. They're a very well-coached, talented team. And you're going to have the pressure, I would say, or the excitement, I would say, of game day being there. And if you guys remember a couple years ago when I think it was the year we went to the college football playoffs, game day was here in Cincinnati. That was an awesome experience. I got to go to it. I didn't go to the game. I went down, just hung out at game day. Now, my thing is, if the Bearcats can go to Utah, which I think they can do this, go to Utah and win. Does that, and BYU keeps winning, I'll be shocked, actually, if the BYU UC game, which is here in Nippert, is not a college game day event. That would be very, very, I'd be surprised. I think that this is a very huge game for the Bearcats, just not only in far as getting more national notice, but you knock out Utah, you're really going to start making some noise. People are starting to talk UC. We're getting some more run on ESPN and stuff like that, but not enough. I mean, Brendan Sorsby is getting some talk for the Heisman Trophy, which he well deserves it. I think he has been way better than he was last year. One thing I've noticed that he's doing this year, one, we're getting the deep ball more consistent, and he's being more under control. And he's going to need that this week against Utah, because Utah is a very good defense. And he has really not been pressured at all this year. But when he has, or when there's been nowhere to go with the ball, he's throwing it away, which is something different than he did last year. Last year, he would just throw it up for grabs. And a lot of times last year, it kind of got tipped around and then turned into an interception. And that ended up changing the momentum of the game. He hasn't made that big mistake this year. It's going to be a big test for him to not make that big mistake against Utah. So let's see here. Yes, and you're right, Ronnie. Congratulations to FC for a huge win last night. I got to watch that. It was awesome. Now, they did this last year. They won the first game, and then they lost the next two. So the next one is this Sunday, I think at 6 o'clock. So should be hopefully be great. We'll watch the Bearcats win Saturday night. We'll watch the Bengals beat the Bears on Sunday. Then go home, watch FC beat Columbus, and move on to the next round of the playoffs, hopefully. Let's see here. What do you guys got going on? Ronnie says, YouTube fans are already talking that smack about how they are the reason why the Big 12 is relevant. That is not even close. They're good, but the Big 12 is relevant because it is, in my opinion, the most complete conference in all of football from top to bottom. There's really no, other than Ohio State, that's really the only front runner super team. I think this year in college football, because there's been so many college football coaches fired this year. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday since Pork Chop was on and he's an LSU fan. But our boy, Brian Kelly, got ran out of town at LSU, which he just did not do good at all there. I was surprised. But I don't believe that nonsense that Utah says that they're the reason that the Big 12 was relevant. I don't know. Texas Tech's got something to say about it. UC's got something to say about it. BYU's got something to say about it. So, yeah, there's some other teams other than just them. Let's see here. Brad. By the way, Jeff Carr is going to be on here. He's running a little late. Hopefully the Bearcats will continue to win and get game day here for BYU game. Exactly. That's where, like, last week, honestly, when BYU was losing, I was kind of hoping they'd come back because I want us both to be undefeated coming in here to Nippert. That would be the game of the day. There would be no bigger game than that one. So that's what I really, 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 really hope that happens. Yeah, exactly right. We need BYU and Cincinnati to say hi. Yeah. But like I said, it's for this Utah game, and I don't want to get too much in depth into it because I do want to discuss this with Jeff Carr. But the scout report I got here is Utah's strength is physical, front seven, elite coaching, and grinded out style. And that's what I'm talking about, the strength of the front seven. That's where I go back to this offensive line which has been great for the Bearcats this year. This is probably going to be their biggest test of the season. It's going to be the biggest test for Sorsby too, because he's good. They're going to get pressure on him. He's going to have more pressure now than he's had all year long. So that's where I go back to what I said at the beginning of this. Sorsby has got to make sure he is mentally focused and not falling back into the bad traits he had last year where he would panic and just throw the ball for grabs. He hasn't done that this year. With this front seven Utah's got, it's going to be a challenge. And the other thing is Utah likes to run the ball. We got to get the Godfather, Corleone hopefully can get out there and play more snaps because he is going to be a big key. I'm not sure if they have come out and said that he's still limited snaps or what. That's where hopefully we'll get Jeff Carr on here soon and he can answer that. What's up, stranger? Who day? We can talk a little Bengals later on too, but we're talking Bearcats right now because I mean the Bengals made some they cut some players today. We'll see what they do. You know, I mean, as far as I know, there haven't been any big moves, so I really want to talk Bearcats. Ron, my concern in this game versus Utah is definitely the run game and Cincinnati's defense. Yeah, because I mean, our offense is elite. Shoresby is playing at an elite level, and I'm very worried about the run defense versus Utah because they are going to try to run the ball down the throat. But he has made it in the waiting room. He's a very busy man. He's not only doing Locked On Reds. We started doing Locked On Bearcats this year. He is the one. He is the only. He's Jeff Carr. What's up, Jeff?
How you doing, Jeff? Good to see you, dude.
Yeah, it's the Jeff and Jeff show. I like that. I like Jeff. Yeah. Did you notice I even got you a Locked On Bearcats intro now? I even changed that.
I did see that. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. Yeah. All right. So let's do a little bit of a preview here. Like I said, number 17 is the highest ranked the Bearcats have been since they've gotten to the Big 12. The scouting report I got for Utah is the strength is their biggest thing for me is their physical front seven, and that's where I think it's going to come down to. And I said this that Sorsby has not made the mistakes that he's made last year. Where last year he would get pressure on him and he'd freak out or whatever. He'd try to throw it in double coverage. This year he's throwing the ball away. Now, the offensive line has played great. I mean, he has not really been pressured at all this year. Maybe a little bit, but not much. He's going to get pressured in Utah. This is going to be a big game for him to see if he's actually learned from that and see. And that, to me, that and stopping the run against Utah is going to be the two keys. How Sorsby handles this pressure and how we can handle stopping the run of Utah. Is there any other, got anything to add on that?
No, for sure. And this is going to be a different defensive animal than the Bearcats have faced really all year. I mean, even including Nebraska. I know Nebraska was really good on defense, but theirs was more so the secondary and their ability to cover. Utah is completely different. Utah just wants to blitz the heck out of you. Right. They want to send more guys than you got to block, and they're going to dare you to leave backs into block, leave tight ends into block, or be quick with your throws. The good news is Brendan Sorsby's done that this year. Yes. So if he is in need of, making sure he's getting the ball out quick, he's done that well. He's done that efficiently with really good decision-making. But that offensive line's definitely been part of it. I mean, they've only allowed 2 sacks all year.
Great. They've been excellent this year. Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air to watch this offensive line play football, but that's going to be a tough factor. And you're right. Like on the defensive side, it's just how are you going to stop Utah as a whole, not even just the rushing game, but the passing game too. Like Utah, for the fact of their record, like coming into this game, like you kind of think, okay, they're a little bit down in the Big 12, not necessarily right where the Bearcats are, but this team is a top 10 team in EPA per play on defense, and they are a top 20 team in EPA per play on offense. So it's not as if this team is a slouch on both sides of the ball. This is the biggest test, maybe the biggest test when you add in everything else that the Bearcats will face all year.
I mean, it comes down. I said this too for you. I mean, we got College game day at Utah. We win just projecting. We win this game. BYU wins. We got 2 weeks till. I think it's 2 weeks till the BYU game. If BYU and UC are undefeated, which I'm hoping they are in Nippert, that's gonna be the biggest game of the day, I think. And I would be shocked if game day does not come to Cincinnati for that game if they're both undefeated.
Yeah, they got a real shot to get game day 2 out of 3, or I think it's 4 weeks because there's a bye and then Arizona.
Yeah, I forgot about the bye. That's right. Yep.
And I think BYU's on a bye this week, and then they're playing next week. I forget who they play first, but I know the week right before they come to Cincinnati, they go to Lubbock to face Texas Tech. So they've got they got a heck of a draw too.
Ronnie says, Jeff C., I enjoy the crossover Locked On coverage and especially love the fact how you were defending Cincinnati. Of course. He's
Try me.
me and him are Mr. Cincinnati. I mean, I think we're one and the same.
And I think he was probably mentioning Locked On Big 12 as well, because like there were a lot of folks and Utah fans. I'm only just discovering this, but Utah fans are quite opinionated and quite strong on their opinions. And so there's a lot of them that believe they're just like, boy, we are saving the Big 12. Look at this. Big Noon Kickoff's been here twice. Game Day's been here once this year. Look at us. We're the reason that the Big 12 goes. And I'm like, hi, yeah. Cincinnati's the reason that Game Day is coming to Utah.
yeah, we are, and Ronnie said that in the comments too. I'm like, well, I like, yeah, they had something to do with it, but I'm sure BYU had something to do with it. We have something to do with it. I think the Big 12 is the most complete conference. I mean, from top to bottom, they are. I mean, I know we got Oklahoma State, but you're going to have your bottom feeders, but for the most part, I think the Big 12 is the most complete and most competitive conference in college football.
I think so too, as far as the competitive side. It's tough to stack up against like the likes of the SEC and the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'm talking about top to
how
bottom.
Everything's built.
Yeah. SEC is very top heavy, and they are very good. I'd say with Big Ten. Big Ten. Good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they get more respect with this, because it does feel like, and our Locked On Big 12 host Drake made the point, and he's made the point multiple times, but he made the point on the show that I was on as well. Like, it feels like it's better for an SEC team to lose a conference game than it is for a Big 12 team to win a conference game, because at this point it feels like the resumes just get affected so differently between the two conferences. But I feel like we're starting to see a lot more respect being levied toward the Big 12 in football. It's just that whole churn, right? Like, there's not that one team that's on top of the Big 12 like there is in the SEC and the Big 10.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I mean, let's be honest, Big 10 and Big 12 or SEC have been the elite of college football for years. So I mean, it's gonna be hard to. I'm not gonna say we're ever gonna knock them off, because I don't think we ever will, but at least get considered, right here below them, or maybe right with them. Sometimes it's gonna take a couple years for that to happen, and I do think we need to have a emerging team. That like we had Texas and Oklahoma. Those are the two teams in the Big 12. Since they left, we don't really have the big juggernaut team. Hey, who knows? I said this is a good spot for Cincinnati to step up and take that spot, is what I think. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, get back to this game. It's going to be tough, because, and I was watching you and Chad Brendel on your Locked On Bearcats earlier today, and Chad made a good point, or you made it, about how long they're going to have to wait till they play this game. They literally are going to be able to watch all the noon kickoffs, and then they might start getting ready to go to the games. So that's going to be a way differently than what they're used to.
Depending on the type of smoker that you have and how high you set your temperature, you could about smoke a brisket in between the end of game day and the beginning of kickoff. Like, it feels like it's so long in between. And yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, obviously the national attention is huge. There's a lot of that going around, but on the same side, or on the opposite side of that coin, is also this late kickoff. This is the latest kickoff they're going to have. Yeah. Arizona's here, BYU's here. They go to TCU, but like, even TCU, I think 8:00 would be the latest that kickoff would be. And so when you look at all of those things, like, it just feels like there's a lot of outside pressure that is being added onto this game. And then, oh, by the way, you have the other bit of, all right, I think we're past the point of, man, we're surprised at how good this team is. We've done the surprise thing. Now we're like, okay, how good can this team be? Because we see a path to Dallas. Can they continue down that path?
Like I kept saying for weeks, I was like, I'm starting to sip the Kool-Aid. Like, I'm to the point where I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm like, I believe in this team. This is going to be like, I want so badly to be all big and bad, like I am a lot of times on here, going, we're going to go there and we're going to win. If it wasn't 10:00 and it wasn't out there, I'd be a lot more confident. It's going to be tough. But like Ronnie said in the comments here, I think they have an advantage as far as, well, I won't say they have an advantage. We got to stop the run game. The run game is very good. Our run game is very good. But I think we have an advantage on them as far as our wide receivers go versus their secondary.
I think so too. I think the biggest thing, though, is going to be, how do the Bearcats really mix in the running game? Like, I think they did a fantastic job, not just of like actually executing their run game, this past week, but also looking at the fact that they've now thrown this tape out there for Utah to worry about, where it's like, dude, they just ran for how much against Baylor?
Right.
That's their thing. I thought their thing was passing. And now
Maybe
it's like, okay, you've got both dimensions of the offense available to you. And it's not just the let's line them up and run them right at them, because Utah wants to be two-dimensional as well. So how do you run in those RPOs and a little bit of jet sweeps and things like that? Isaiah Johnson looked really good. I know Chad and I got the chance to talk about that a lot early on this week, but also too, like Cyrus Allen is such a talented wide receiver. It's not even just the fact that, like, one-on-one going deep or running some sort of deep post route or something like that. Are they going to beat the defensive backs for Utah? Are the defensive backs for Utah going to be ready for the different levels of passing that the Bearcats can do? Because it's not just, they can go deep, and if you cut off the deep game, they got nothing for you. There's a whole lot of levels to this offense, and that's where I go back to, how good Brendan Sorsby has been, but also Scott Satterfield as well. I think we have gone from he's on the hot seat to now he is getting national recognition. And there's some people that are just like, why do people want to give him national recognition? Because he absolutely deserves it. He is executing this offensive game plan that is working to all of the strengths of his position players, his skill players, and is utilizing his offensive line and not asking them to do too much, but keeping them within their strengths.
I went from I hate calling for people's jobs. Not being a big Sat fan to go and
I was there too.
Yeah. I mean, if you win and you're on my team, cool. I'm fine. And Satterfield has started to win, and you see what he's been trying to do the last couple of years. He just hasn't had the talent. He's got the talent to execute what he wants now, and it's showing. I mean, the last couple of weeks, I haven't really been worried. Even the Iowa State game, I wasn't worried that we're going to lose this game. I'm like, we're going to win this game. It's going to happen. Like, there's been a very confident offense of play calling between running the ball and passing the ball. I mean, he's scheming guys open. They're running the ball, and they're having big gaping holes to run through something. And when they don't, the running backs are just trucking people. So, I mean, it's a very, very, very good offense, and it's all you got to give credit to Satterfield. I mean, I'll criticize him when he doesn't do good. Like, I've been criticizing Zach Taylor and the Bengals this whole week for what the hell happened on Sunday. When they do good, you got to give them their flowers, and they've done good. This is a measuring stick game for that, though. This is going to be a game that I don't want to say make or break, but honestly, if we lose this game, we might be out of the Big 12 picture.
So we were looking at that too. There's actually a path that if Utah wins, but if UC beats BYU, UC still could go to Dallas. A lot of it kind of hinges on, does Houston win out? Does Texas Tech win out? Like, does Texas Tech beat BYU before BYU comes to Cincinnati, and then Cincinnati beats BYU? There's going to be some interesting tiebreaker scenarios that go into play, and I don't think that obviously UC hasn't played Texas Tech, so there won't be a tiebreaker there. UC hasn't played Houston, so there won't be the head-to-head tiebreaker there, so they go into other things.
Right.
But no, I still think there's a path to Dallas, even if they lose against Utah, but obviously you want to take care of business.
Oh, yeah.
You want to,
obviously,
you want to handle your own thing. And the other part of this game too, like offense, defense, this matchup, that matchup, both teams start fast.
Yeah.
You see, I was looking at this and bringing all the scoring differentials down and things like that. In the first quarter this year, UC is outscoring all of their opponents 97-10.
Ooh.
They've allowed a touchdown. I think it was a touchdown. I think it was it was on the road. I think it was to Kansas. That's who it was. Touchdown to Kansas in the first quarter, and then a field goal to Oklahoma State. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. Should I have pulled up? But that's it. That's all they've given up, both on the road. Meanwhile, Utah is also a start fast team. They want to outscore you very quickly, put you on the ropes, and then let that running game really churn you. And so I think that, strength on strength in a lot of different ways, Bearcats offense, Utah's defense, but just the ability to start fast. Both these teams have proven that they can do that. And honestly, that's one of the things, because I'm sure you've thought this too. Well, I was watching, this past week's game against Baylor. The third quarter was really just vexing me. I'm like, is this a thing? Like, is this like the whole season? Like, I feel like it's been the whole season. And that's why I tried to break down the score thing, because they're actually being outscored in the third quarter. It's just they do so much damage so early on, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I remember I heard you and Chad talking about that. I'm like, really? Because, I mean, yeah, it's third quarter, we kind of let up on the gas pedal. I don't know what it is, but for first quarter, we're out the door. But, like you said, so is Utah. That's where this game could be won or lost in the first quarter, the way the stats go in this. But I'm never going to say that. I didn't believe that, because you got 4 quarters of this whole thing. So we'll see what happens. So back to I know what to say. So let's just say this: if Utah, worst case scenario, Bearcats lose, that'd be 2 losses, and say they beat BYU and they make it to the Big 12 championship game. And say I think if they win that, they're in, but they'd be a 2-loss team. Do you think a 2-loss team being the Big 12 champion will get into college football playoffs with 2 losses?
So the Big 12 champion would.
I would think
if you lose in the Big 12 championship, I don't think you do. I would love to say it's a 2-bid league, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
The only 2-bid that I could see is if Texas Tech were to win out, UC were to beat BYU, UC would go to the Big 12 title game, beat Texas Tech, and then maybe the committee's got a tough choice to like leave them out or keep them in. But I feel like they're the only ones that could possibly push to be an at-large. I think it's you got to win and you're in, because it is an automatic bid championship league. But at the same time, I don't think there's going to be that at-large bid. So that's going to be the interesting part of this, is that I still think it's an overwhelming success of a season, even if they don't quite make it to the championship game, but especially if they make it to the championship game and lose that, I still think it's an overwhelming success of a season. But I am so excited and intrigued at all the different possibilities that have now come up by the fact that we're like, okay, at the beginning of training camp, they were like, we're focused on Dallas. And it was like, yeah, that's great. Let's just get to a bowl first.
Yeah.
Now we're like, okay, they're onto something.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, I'll just take a bowl right now, any bowl. And I'm like, because like you be talking about it last year, just like ripping my guts out last year. We needed 1 freaking win like to get me bowl eligible, and we couldn't get it. And it's not even November yet, and we're already bowl eligible. I mean, that's how big a difference we went from one season to the next. And we're not even only going to be in a bowl, we're going to be in a good bowl. And now we're talking Big 12 championship. This is my 3rd year in the Big 12. I mean, I'm so excited, and I'm trying to hold it back a little because I've been crushed so many times last couple of years.
We know Cincinnati sports.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, it's like they could do this thing, and it's exciting. And that's why we got into Big 12 for this exact reason. Because we don't have, like, when we were in the AAC and we were having these great years, we had to fight and scratch and claw and defend who we played against, and defend this. We got to defend shit. We actually should be, honestly, undefeated. I mean, if you go back to the first
couple of plays away from that for sure.
Yeah, we're a couple plays away from being undefeated. So that's the other thing too. When you go back to, if we're a 2-loss team, well, one of them we were in a home game in Arrowhead. Yeah, okay, that was that. Everybody knows that was not a home game, and yeah, so we almost won that. So that's where I would, bounce back on. Hey, that was a very close game that we probably should have won, but we didn't. But it's just exciting that we're where we're at here, because, like I said, beginning of the season, I just hope we get a bowl game. I mean, I was in shows. If Sat doesn't get a bowl game, he's gone. Sat's not going anywhere. So if
he might get an extension at this point.
Yeah, he might. I mean, well, hell, the way they're firing coaches, if he goes and wins this Big 12, somebody might be coming after him. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is the 3rd year, and that's typically for a UC football coach when they're doing good, which he's only been doing good for 1 year. But usually, I mean, D'Antonio was here 3 years. Kelly was here 3 years. Butch was here 3 years. I know, Luke was here for 4 years, so he stayed a little longer. That's usually about the time when people start plucking him. But I'm also wondering, can UC with the NIL and with Cincy Light and everything now and the money from the Big 12, can they actually pay their coach enough to keep him? And it's also, is it that, or is it, I could go to LSU and I could try to win there, like the allure Brian Kelly had, which I felt so bad for him. He got fired. I mean, it's just awful. It really is.
Man, my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder a little bit about that. I think probably after like this first year of just overwhelming success, some people may be a little bit reticent to like throw them up there high up on their big board as far as like a coach we could hire. He might be like the big speculative hire that like, okay, if he goes next year,
right?
Because there's a chance that Brendan Sorsby comes back and all this, because I know he can declare for the draft app this year, but he's also eligible for next year as well.
Brendan Sorsby will probably make more money coming back to UC than he would go to. I mean, he's having a great year.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's having a great year. I by no means think he's getting drafted and somebody's going, you're my starter. I think if he does it again next year, I think he's got a better shot. Plus, I think he'll make more money. And that's one good thing about the NIL era is you can keep guys longer in college. And that's not going to help the college football. It's also going to help college basketball as well.
Right. And to be honest with you, like the NIL obviously is huge for every single school that changed the game when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to transfers, all that other stuff. But Cincinnati understood another part of the assignment, and that was the facilities.
Yes.
And they now have top of the line facilities that like I've seen them. I've seen the practice center getting finished there, and it looks so beautiful. Like I'm kind of like thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, are the Bengals going to be calling soon to be like, hey, can we borrow this? Can we use this? Right. Like this looks so state of the art. And I mean, you see a clean injury report just about every way. I know that Evan Pryor's on it this week. He kind of tweaked his ankle a bit. I know we're kind of keeping a close eye on that one for the Utah game. But I mean, by and large, this season, they have not had to worry about injuries up and down the board. And of course, Dante Corleone, but like everybody else, like it feels like has been super healthy. And that's attributable to the training facilities, to the training staff that they have. And the fact that their coaching staff, I mean, is pretty much the same year over year. But these facilities, man, like I'm sure that the Bearcats reach out to a recruit or to a transfer person and somebody's like, all right, we got an offer for you. Here's the NIL money. Let's take you around campus here and like see the facilities and stuff. And they're like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, we were. So my daughter is 21, and so me and my wife ended up. We're cool parents. I'll say that she wanted us to go out with her, so we went down to Short Vine, and we ended up over on Calhoun, and we walked right by. This is Saturday night, and we walked right by the new practice facility. I'm like, holy! And I've seen it before, but usually I'm booking it, trying to get into the game, or I'm tailgating or something. This I actually got to just look at the outside. Like one day I would love to get in there and get a tour of it. That would be awesome. That thing is freaking huge. And I'm like, I'm old. I go back to 1993. That's the year I went to UC, where the gridiron is now. That was a parking lot. We had the engineered building was the only thing that was good. Nippert was still not full. Shoemaker was only a couple years old. Calhoun, all those streets, there was nothing there. UC bought all those. I mean, that's the thing with you get a recruit. It's not only that, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, you got all the stuff, bad stuff around Clifton." If you go around the campus is nice. All of it is nice. I mean, it's
a great campus.
Oh, it's awesome, and everything's right there. You don't have to go very far if you live on campus to go do anything. You can walk to wherever you want to go, and it's a great. It is such a nice campus compared to what it was when I went there. So not only the facilities, but also I think the campus life. That people like, I could be in a semi big city. I still can play college football, and I'm not out. I don't have to go all out to North Carolina and East Bufu or wherever they are. And I'm actually in a city. So people who've grown up in cities sometimes like that. So like I said, not only the facility but also the campus itself, I think, is a recruiting tool as well.
And I think that, I've had the ability to travel around some different campuses and see a lot of different stuff. And Tennessee and Virginia, and there's a lot of great campuses around there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I just don't feel like anybody's got the intimate feeling that Nippert Stadium
Oh,
has, just
no.
being in the center of campus.
Yes. Mhm.
And
Yes.
it's something, it's hard to explain to people that have never been there, because like I've talked to some folks on like Big 12 crossovers talking about Nippert Stadium because they're not familiar with it. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Like during the week, like students walk through here is like part of their normal commute from building to building and things
Yep.
like that. Like this is just, it was just open. You can
Just
just
there.
be here
Yeah.
whenever you want to be here. So
You go
there's this
toss football on the field if you want.
connection,
Mhm.
right? There's this connection to Nippert Stadium that UC has as a school that I don't feel like a lot of other schools can claim about their, because there's shrines out there, obviously, Ohio Stadium and then the Big House and all this other stuff. There's shrines to college football, but they're also protected like shrines and sequestered like shrines. Like Nippert is in itself a shrine, but it's the most accessible shrine in all of college sports.
And I always trip people out that going, we've been playing football here for 100 years. You're like, what? I'm like, yeah, literally, they played football in this spot for 100 years because it was a valley. I mean, now they dug it down more. That's why if anybody ever's gone to Nippert and you walk down the stairs and the stairs go down like this, they dug it down even more 50 years ago. I don't even know how long ago they did, but I know they dug it down even more to make it more seating capacity. And I said this, and I went to the coach's show last week at the original Montgomery Inn, and they had two of the tight ends there. And I asked them if they've had a chance to experience one of the greatest college football environments around. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, Nip at Night. And neither one have got to play in it yet. I think one they're both.
How BYU is that? I really
you read my mind. That's exactly where I was going. I'm like, that's the perfect one to make it a Nip at Night. College game day in the morning, leading into Nip at Night, and the national, everybody can see what it's like. You're still not going to be able to understand it until you're there. But like I said, it's in this hole in the center of campus, and the noise doesn't go anywhere. It's just
so loud.
It's so loud. It sounds like 100,000 foot seat stadium. It is awesome. And I'm like, and you're right. I've said this, but they have your cathedrals, you have this, but I will put Nip at Night as far as the environment goes up against anybody. Because it is, I'm not saying it's better. It's just as good as anything SEC's got, Big Ten's got. It is. The environment is. Yeah. It is ridiculous. It is so cool. And you don't get that because it's a natural thing. It just happened. That's where the whole, the valley was. That's where they made the campus. That's where the football stadium went.
I don't think if somebody were to argue, and I don't know who would make this argument, but if somebody were to argue to the contrary of this opinion, I would have a hard time understanding their point of view, because I believe Nippert and Bearcats fans as a whole were a huge reason why the Bearcats beat Iowa State. There were multiple times that Iowa State had false starts, or they looked confused on defense.
They weren't
expected
like to be that loud. I don't think they had no idea.
No clue. They were not ready, and Bearcats fans just absolutely let them know. And I think it's going to be that way the rest of the year. Arizona when they come here, BYU when they come here, like it's gonna be a home field advantage like they're not used to. And I know BYU went to Utah, and everybody there's a lot of folks that believe that Utah is the cream of the crop when it comes to like the Big 12 atmospheres out there. But I'm like, man, you just don't know until you get to Nippert. You don't know. And it's funny, you mentioned that, where they dug it deeper, the stairs kind of change a little bit. Mm-hmm. Where I sat at is near where that change is. It's like right behind, it's like a row, like behind where that step is. And I swear, I count like 15 people a game that trip and fall on that one. Like you feel bad because you're like, I just want to let them know, but I'm like, there's no time. And they're not paying attention to me anyway. It's like, hey, watch out. Like
they probably had some liquid courage going on too. So they don't even pay attention.
There's a guy that about fell into me, like I had to almost keep him up. I'm like, you gotta watch that step.
They always trips me out, and I it's still one of the coolest things. I love it is the band running down the stairs. And I know we had trumpet players and stuff trip and fall, but I don't know how more of them don't, because those steps are steep too. They're flying down.
I guess the tuba don't really run all the way down, but they do run down the steps.
They run down a lot. Like it's cool. That's one of the to me that's one of the coolest things too. I'm hoping to get to a Bearcat game this year. I was going to go last weekend, but then my nephew he had his birthday party, and it was supposed to be after the Bearcat game, but then he had to work, so then my sister moved it. So I'm like, oh, crap, I got to go. I'd be a bad uncle if I wanted to go to the Bearcat games. Like, had to go to his thing. So anyway.
Understand.
So all right. So You mentioned the Godfather, and I think he's a big key to this game as far as stopping the run. Is he getting better? Is he going to get more snaps this week? I haven't heard Satterfield say anything about it. I probably missed it, but what do they say about the Godfather?
I haven't seen what he said this week, but I do know, like, he kind of tweaked his right leg a little bit early on there in the game against Baylor. He came back and he still played plenty of snaps in that game. But it's interesting. His value isn't necessarily felt as much on the score sheet as it has been in years past. His value has been that he's opening things up for the rest of the guys on the offense or on the defensive line there. Like, thinking about Jalen Hunt and those guys are really starting to come into their own a bit. And
right.
while they're not like lighting up the score sheets or the highlights or anything like that to where people are just like, look how many sacks they've got, you are seeing a lot more pressure, and Micah Coleman and those guys as well, really pressuring the opposing quarterbacks. I think they had 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss last week against Baylor, but they were at really key moments. Like when you needed it, they were in the backfield and they pulled down Sawyer Robinson there for a couple of different times. And I'm trying to remember the name of the running back, but yeah, I really feel like his value this year has been more so on the opposing offensive line is not going to let him beat them. Mm-hmm. And so he takes up 2 and 3 blockers. So it's up to Coleman and Hunt. And then if they blitz Golday or if they blitz Jack Dingle or somebody like that, like, can those guys get home? Because Dante Corleone's just soaking up the rest of the offensive line.
Now, I've been you're talking that whole time. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, and I cannot remember his freaking name. He's the linebacker for the Bearcats.
Thompson?
No, I can't remember. He's made a ton of plays. He's always
Jake Golday.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. He's always leading them in tackles. He's had an unbelievable year and unbelievable impact this year, and that's like.
That dude looks like an NFL linebacker.
He does. And that's the thing. It's like, unfortunately, with all the NIL transfers and everything, it's hard to remember everybody's name unless they've been here a couple of years. I'm like, yeah, number you. Yeah, good job. What the hell's his name? But I've noticed him because he's been in on – he's always in on the tackle. Every time side to side, he's making impacts. And I agree. I think we have a couple guys on this team that are going to be NFL worthy. One, the West Side boy, I have a brain fart. I can't remember his name. The tight end. I don't know why I can't.
Joe Royer.
Thank you, Joe Royer. I got it written down. I could not remember his freaking name. I hate when I do that. He is definitely going to be an NFL prospect. I think he's gone after this year. How much of a key do you think he is to this game against Utah?
I think that he's going to open up the middle of the field because there's just so many different things that Utah's got to worry about, and I don't believe that they're going to deviate from their blitz-heavy game plan. And so whenever you see a lot of blitzes, the quarterback is looking for his safety blanket, and Joe Royer is one of the best safety blankets, if not the best safety blanket in college football. And so he's going to be ready.
Yeah, we noticed that in the Kansas game when he went out.
Right, like between him and Cyrus Allen in the slot, like it kind of feels like these guys are going to eat in the passing game on this particular matchup because of the way that Utah is going to defend them. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of necessarily like long developing routes or anything like that Brendan Sorsby is going to be able to wait on. It's going to have to basically be like 1-2 and then I'm going, or 1-2 and then check down. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't feel like he's going to have a lot of time. And so they're going to try to open it up with that running game. But I think ultimately Utah has shown that no matter what you do to them, they are going to get theirs eventually. So how can you limit their defense's, big plays and their defense's impact against your offense that has really taken over the Big 12? Like, I know Texas Tech is really stinking good, but I just feel like Cincinnati's right there with them, and people just don't see it.
That's and like I said, and that's where I'm going. I'm like, am I getting myself too hyped up? But I mean, they've had some good teams that and I know most of them been home games, pretty much just kicked their ass. I mean, it really hasn't been any close. I don't think that's going to be the case Saturday. I think it's going to be a tight, hard fought, hopefully victory. But these are some, like, I thought Baylor was going to give us more of a fight. I thought Iowa State was going to give us more of a fight. Neither game I was really worried about. I mean, we're going to win this game. So that's where I'm like, am I getting myself too confident? Because I do that sometimes. Like, we're good. We're going to kick your ass. Yeah, we'll see. And then we go to the college football playoffs and we get our ass kicked by Alabama. I thought we had some kind of chance.
And what worries me a little bit here, because they always, everybody always says that when it comes to the odds makers, if it feels like it's like just absolutely out of left field, then that means that there's something more to this.
Mhm.
And as much as it might feel like a trap, probably is. The line has moved even further away from the Bearcats. They're now sorry, I always get the terminology. They are getting 8.5 points. They're 8.5 point underdogs, and the line opened at 7.5. And I already thought that was a lot, and now I'm like 8.5. Like, it's moving the opposite direction of what I thought it was going to. So I find that intriguing. I would smash that, but I also know that feels like there's something more to this.
Here's a sucker bet, Phil. They want you to do it because they know something that we don't know. And I'm like, that's where I'm like, I want to win this game so bad. And the hard thing is we're gonna be all bleary eyed for if you're a Bearcat and a Bengal fan, because I'll be standing up watching the game, and then I gotta be down at the tailgate at I'll be down at like 9:30, but the tailgate starts at 10, so I'm gonna be tired, but it'll be completely worth it if the Bearcats win. That's the whole thing right there. Paul's got a question here. He says, do we use 6 offensive linemen?
I think I noticed a lot of 3 tight end sets against Baylor when they would do like some different RPO plays and stuff, because it's easy to just send Joe Royer out on a route, and then leave in Gavin Grover and Patrick Gerd, I think, is the third guy. But leaving those other guys in to block, I could see that happening. But on the other side of this, I think that Brendan Sorsby's good enough and understands his offense well enough that he knows how to make that quick read. So I don't necessarily know that they're going to force that extra blocker every so often. I will say this, like, you don't see him throw the ball a lot to the running back. They really do use running backs a lot more to block and help out with pass protection. But also, this offensive line has been awarded the best offensive line in the Big 12, I think 3 or 4 weeks this year already. They have shown that they are amazing, just the front 5 when it comes to getting the blocks done. So I don't necessarily know that you need to find the level, as it were, with Utah and make sure you're blocking as many people as they're sending, but just Brendan Sorsby understanding how much time he has to find his guy or to tuck it and run, if he gets a lane or something like that. I think that'll be available too.
Yeah, that's something I don't know if Utah has. I don't know off the top of my head if they faced a running quarterback like Sorsby, and not where he's elusive, but where he'll hit you and run your ass over. So that's one thing that I'm not sure a lot of Big 12 teams are expecting out of him, because he will hit you and he will run you over, and it's because he's a big dude. What is he? What, 6? Is it 6'6"?
6'5", 6'6".
6'5". I mean, he's a big dude. So yeah, I mean, he likes doing it. So I mean, that's another wrinkle to this offense that we really haven't had in the last couple of years. Now, on the last about 10 minutes here, I want to try to pivot here. We do have college basketball starting here soon, and again, I'm kind of same way I was with Sat this year. Kind of like that with Wes. I like him. He's got to make a tournament this year. I saw the Michigan game. I'm like, all right, that looks good. I know it's preseason or whatever they do call it now. And you got your ass kicked by Arkansas. The hell? So that's where I'm like, I mean, because Michigan, I thought they're saying Michigan would be like top 10, top 5 ranked team. I don't think Arkansas is that high, or maybe I'm wrong on that one.
Arkansas is a little bit low. I think Arkansas is 17.
But they got destroyed.
Preseason 17.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that it's one thing or the other that led to it. It's interesting because Michigan did play their guy that's like one of the favorites for player of the year in Yaxel Lindenborg. Heck of a name. But he scored like 30-something points on him, and they were still able to beat him. I do think that there's a lot of value in both of these games. And it's not just the wins or the losses. It's the competition itself, I think, that really feeds into all of it. The fact that they are playing legitimate teams and not, as much as we love Thomas More, like they're not going and playing Thomas More.
Yeah.
Athletes
in the action, Sister of the Poor, they're not playing those games. Yeah.
St. Rita's School for the Deaf, things like that.
Exactly.
because I always likened it to, in years past, I remember like Kentucky would go play Pikeville or Transylvania or something like that. And I'm like, nothing against those schools. Right. It's like
Transylvania.
nothing against those schools, but big difference in talent
Yeah.
and all that other stuff. Like same with Cincinnati. Like I'm glad that they played the teams that they did so that they could get the film that they have. And I know that Wes Miller made this statement the other day where he was just like, yeah, we're nowhere near ready. And nor should they be. It's far too early to be ready, to know that your team is ready to go, especially when you have 12 new players that are all going to play. Like, I think they're going to go so deep. Yeah.
One guy.
It's Day-Day. Day-Day's the only guy.
Day-Day's it. Everybody's gone.
And he's looked pretty solid so far.
Yeah, he has.
But also like the experiment that they're doing with different rotations and all that stuff. I still am very bullish on this season and how it's going to go. I think it's intriguing that Ken Pom has them as a bubble team, and they think that they could probably get in, as is Ken Pom predicts them to win 20 games. I'm like,
I'll take it. I hope
that's
so.
kind of fun. But I know that they're going to be a fun team. I'm expecting a fun year one way or the other, but I think that Wes is going to get it done. Because you're right. I love Wes. It's just it's time to do it. You got to do it, or we got to look at something else.
Because he's a great recruiter. He's this is the most talented team he's had. I mean, you got I can't ever remember the guy's name. I'm terrible with names sometimes, but the top 5 recruit we got, he's got the man bun. Everybody knows.
Sean Abayath? No.
Yeah, Sean Abayath.
Yeah.
He's really good. I think he's got to work on passing the ball and getting his teammates more involved too. One thing I want to see from Wes's team that I have not seen yet is big boy basketball. This is Big 12. You've got to have somebody on the inside, a couple guys on the inside that could consistently score. Because when that 3-point line, when that shot isn't going in, which has happened for the Bearcats, they'll keep chucking it up and it won't go in. You got to score on the inside. And we got killed on that last year. And last year we made it so easy. All you got to do is just guard the perimeter and we'll throw something stupid up. And that's where, to me, I want to see, can Wes adjust? Because I haven't seen, when teams figure the Bearcats out, I haven't seen Wes adjust to be able to counteract that at all. He keeps trying to do the same thing, it seems like. So that's where I want to, that's the big thing for me, is see how he can adjust going, because Big 12 teams are going to figure it out. Once you get from start to beginning of the Big 12 season to the end, they're going to know what you're doing. You got to be able to figure out and show them a different wrinkle and beat them to it.
That's where a lot of people are saying, and I know that, when you get 12 new players, it's really hard to say that you know what you got, but there's a lot of talent that they brought in, and one of the talented guys they brought in who would have been a key scoring piece down on the post was Jalen Haynes, and he's probably going to be out for a little while. They're not expecting him to be back very quickly, and so that's a big loss that they've taken down on the post. So you look at Baba Miller, like the commenter said, and you also look at Mustafa Cham, and the fact that he's coming in from UCF, that's kind of nice. Can those two guys really get going? I know that early on in the Michigan scrimmage, Baba Miller was looking really good. I know that he finished the game with 6 rebounds, but I joked, I'm just like, he had 6 total rebounds in the scrimmage, but I felt like he got 15 of those 6 in the first 5 minutes of the game. Like, he was just eating up everything that was hitting off the rim. And so if you keep getting guys that perform that way, then you're going to get what you're looking for down there in the post. But I think that it's all about, can you eat in the post and can you hit the outside shot? And they've definitely got some guys that can hit some outside shots this year between Kirk Risa and then the overseas kid that they got in Jordy Rodriguez. Really excited about him as well. So how can they get that all to mix? It also doesn't feel like they have that guy that's just going to eat up the ball. He's just going to require the ball in his hands for a long period of time. I think all of these guys have the ability to share and pass well and make a very balanced offense. It's just, can Wes Miller bring that all together? Like you said, we haven't seen it yet. That's going to be the biggest test for him this year.
And the thing too is well, you said we don't have a guy who eats the ball, but we do need a guy or two, because these Big 12 games there's going to be games that's coming down to who's going to make the shot. Right. Who is that guy? Is it Day-Day? Which, I mean, he's the most logical one. He's been here the longest, but I think Day-Day can do that. I think Day-Day wants to do that. We'll see if it happens. Right now, for me, the first guy is Day to take those shots. I mean, is there anybody else you think that might do that right now?
Talking to some friends of mine who are hardened Kentucky fans, they were very sad to see Kirk Kriisa go because they knew that he had the profile of that guy. It's just there was a lot of questions about off the field stuff and focus and things like that. At least so far, there's been no reporting to that effect as a Cincinnati Bearcat. And so if he can be that guy, it seems like he would be the favorite to kind of be the, hey, we need you to knock down a shot, go knock down a shot. Then it'd be Kirk Kriisa. I would also be curious of Buck Harris. Now, Buck Harris is a guy that really seems to light up the scoreboard as far as does he give you points and rebounds and assists and steals? He does all the things. Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily know about how he is shot making wise. And I know that last year he didn't quite hit the 3-pointer at a clip that really excites you. And so hopefully he can improve on that, because I definitely am not advocating for mid-range jumpers and things like that. But at the same time, I would like to see, could he be that other guy alongside Kirk Kriisa? Because I really think that there's a reason that Kentucky wanted him, and then obviously it didn't quite pan out for him. So can he find what it was that Kentucky wanted, but he gives that to Cincinnati because he also has an extra year of eligibility as well that I just saw about. So, could it be 2 years of just knocking down jumpers as you need?
Now, one thing you were talking about before we're talking about the facilities and everything. Well, he went from Kentucky to UC, and I will take UC. I'm not going to say all the facilities, but Fifth Third Arena, that thing's way better than Rupp. I mean, he probably walked in there going, "Holy, this looks like an NBA arena." That thing, I like. Again, I go back to when Shoemaker, you would sit up in the corners and you look down at the student section. Fifth Third is unfreaking believable. There's not a bad seat in that place. It is awesome.
I do think it's very nice. I know Rupp's much older than it is, but it's tough to go against the history for me. I'm kind of going to stay out of that one for sure. But
I'm saying nuances the way it looks. It looks a lot better than Rupp. But you can't get them on there.
More modern for sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely more modern. All right. So Dustin popped in real quick, and he wanted to know if you got any Reds news, which I don't think there is any. Is there?
No news currently. We won't really hear much until the World Series ends, which if any of the other games go like last night, it might be a couple of weeks. So.
We didn't know when last night's game was going to end. I was trying to say, let's do it. I fell asleep. It was 4-4, and I wake up, and I'm like, holy crap, what, 18 innings? Jeez,
Yeah, Steve, my co-host Steve Offenbaker was telling me, man, that was a great game. I'm like, yeah, you lived in Hawaii. You could actually watch all of it. I fell asleep in like the 13th inning.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, and we're going to see that we're the best player in the history of baseball. I'm getting to that point. Is pitching tonight. Dude is.
He's already got 7 home runs this postseason. It's amazing to think about.
He's doing stuff I've never seen anybody do. I mean, it is ridiculous how good he is. I mean, I've had people going, well, didn't Babe Ruth pitch? I was like, I think so. Oh, I know he pitched, but I don't think he hit then, or he at least didn't hit as good as he did when he wasn't a pitcher. I mean, we've never had a guy who can, like, just say the NLCS, he shot out for 6 innings and hit 3 home runs. I mean, we give Reggie Jackson props for hitting 3 home runs in the World Series. Well, Reggie didn't pitch.
Yeah.
He shut him out for 6 innings. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, how does this Blue Jays lineup play against him tonight? It's gonna be very intriguing because, man, he is just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly. I am not a Dodgers fan. That's just from old school NL West. I hate the Dodgers. It's been embedded in me from my grandparents to hate them. So I'm rooting for America's team, the Toronto Blue Jays. So let's see. But hey, the Blue Jays are giving them a game. I mean, they're giving this has actually been a pretty good World Series. It's better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm pleasantly surprised with that.
It did feel like the Dodgers were getting up early in that game, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. They're just going to cruise to an easy World Series win. And then whenever the Blue Jays put 4 in that one inning, I'm like, oh, okay, we're on to something here.
Ronnie wants to dream here. I'm with him. Can we please get Kyle or the Polar Bear to come hit a GABP?
It'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
I don't think it's gonna happen though. We'll see. I hope so. Jeff, plug some stuff before I let you go, brother.
Jeff, appreciate you having me on, man. You can follow Locked On Reds and Locked On Bearcats everywhere you get your podcasts. You can also follow me on social media. Follow me on Twitter at Jeff Carr with 3 Fs, and follow me on TikTok at that same username.
You are awesome, and I appreciate you coming on, brother. We'll have to do this again sometime soon.
Thank you, man.
Take it easy. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Eli, you're late. Where you been at? You're from Brooklyn or in Brooklyn? What's going on? But thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Also, please do me a favor, subscribe to my Substack. All of that is under Sports with Strawberry Ice. X is at Jeff A. Trunapple, but if you look up Sports with Strawberry Ice, it'll pop up at Substack. Write some articles on there. Maybe I'll do a Bearcat one here tomorrow or something. Do me a favor, check it out. And if you guys don't mind donating, it would be awesome as always. I'd appreciate that. Also, check out the podcast. I'll be pulling a sound off later on tonight. Putting it on there. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please listen to it, rate it, like it, review it, leave a comment for a 4-star or 5-star review so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast and listen to it in the morning, because we don't have. This is kind of like my thing. We don't have. I want local radio, local sports radio. We don't have any. So don't listen to ESPN. Don't listen to Fox Sports. Listen to me. Listen to some other podcasts in the morning when you're driving to work. Listen to one of the podcasts, because it's ridiculous. We don't have local sports in this city until noon. So check me out. Listen on your way into work. I would greatly appreciate it.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paver patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
Hey guys, want to win a signed T. Higgins helmet like this one right here? Want to know how? Go to the Moorline Lager House website, sign up for their loyalty program, and you will automatically be entered. Already a member? Great. You want to double your chances though? Come on down to my tailgate. Buy a ticket to the pregame experience presented by Best Day Brewery. I'll even give you $10 off by using the promo code pregame10 for $10 off. So let's try this again. You go to Moorline Lager House website, sign up for the loyalty program. You already entered. Great. Then get a ticket to the pregame experience presented by Best Day Brewery at the Moorline Lager House. That's not good enough. $10 off by using promo code 10 and all this, so you can get this helmet that we will be giving away November 23rd. November 23rd. So come on down then. Make sure you win. Come on down this Sunday. We're going to have a great time. We got a DJ. We got beer pong. We got cornhole. We got ice. We're going to root the Bengals on to beat the Jets. What more do you want? Let's go! All right, so maybe we didn't beat the Jets, but we're doing it again this Sunday. We're going to beat the Bears. So come on down, get the $10 off promo, and enjoy some delicious beer, which it is awesome. Where's Joe been? Joe he's had a flood in his basement for about a month now, where he's had a lot of plumbing work done, and so his studio / computer room is trashed. So that's why Joe hasn't been on the show for a while. Hopefully he'll be getting that straightened out and heading back here to the show soon. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, show note. I'll be doing it at 1 o'clock tomorrow, because I want to go to Bengals Now at Newport and Levy, which starts at 6:30, I think. So we're going to do, me and Neil Meyer are going to do a show tomorrow. We'll be talking we're talking about Bengals and Bearcats tomorrow, and anything Cincinnati related. So make sure you guys get a heads up and make sure you know it's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Remember one thing and one thing only. That is Who Dey for life. Go Bearcats, as always. And that's just sports, baby.
another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.